Many people believe that success comes from luck. They watch others grow wealthy and say, "He was simply fortunate." But in the ancient city of Babylon, a wise merchant once revealed the truth about luck, and what he said completely changed how many men understood opportunity. In the great marketplace of Babylon, merchants gathered every evening after trading. They shared stories, debated ideas, and sometimes argued loudly about business and fortune. One evening, the conversation turned to a familiar complaint: luck. A merchant named Bardon slammed his hand against the wooden table. "Some men are simply lucky," he said bitterly. "They stumble upon opportunity while the rest of us struggle for years." Several traders nodded in agreement. They spoke about men who seemed to rise quickly in wealth, men who always seemed to be in the right place at the right time. But sitting quietly among them was an older merchant named Arkat. Arkat was a man whose success was known throughout Babylon. He owned caravans, warehouses, and ships that traveled to distant lands. After listening patiently to the complaints, Arkat finally spoke. "You speak often of luck," he said calmly. "But have you ever asked why luck seems to visit certain men more than others?" The table grew quiet. A young trader leaned forward. "Yes," he asked eagerly. "Why does the goddess of good luck favor some men and ignore the rest of us?" Arkat smiled slightly. "She does not ignore you," he replied. "She simply favors those who are ready to act." The merchants exchanged puzzled looks. Then Arkat began to tell them a story. Years earlier, a traveling jeweler arrived in Babylon carrying a small pouch of rare gemstones. The jeweler needed gold quickly and offered the stones at an unusually low price. Many merchants gathered around the stall. They admired the beauty of the gems. They discussed how valuable they might become in the future. But they hesitated. Some said they needed more time to think. Others feared making a mistake. One merchant even said he would return the next day after consulting his partners. But among the crowd was a young trader who saw the opportunity clearly. Without hesitation, he reached into his purse and purchased the gems immediately. Months later, those stones were sold for many times their original price. The hesitant merchants shook their heads in frustration. They called the young trader lucky. But Arkat looked around the table and shook his head. "No," he said firmly. "That was not luck. That was courage." Opportunity often comes quietly and disappears quickly. The goddess of good luck smiles most often upon those who recognize opportunity and act without delay. The merchant sat silently as his words settled over the table. For many of them realized that fortune had visited them before, but they had been too cautious or too slow to welcome it. Luck is rarely a random gift. More often, it is the reward for those who act when others hesitate. This ancient lesson still applies today. If you want to attract more opportunity into your life, remember 3 things. First, train yourself to recognize opportunity. Opportunities often appear disguised as risk or uncertainty. Second, act faster than the average person. Most people wait too long to make decisions, and while they hesitate, someone else moves forward. Third, prepare yourself before opportunity appears. The young trader was able to act quickly because he had knowledge, confidence, and capital. Opportunity favors those who are ready. The merchants left the marketplace that night with a different understanding of luck. They realized that fortune does not simply fall from the sky. It often appears briefly, testing whether a person has the courage to act. And when the moment arrives, those who move forward are later called lucky. Because every fortune begins with a lesson.